Okay, I'm gonna explain what I've done up to this point. These are pretty large 5-inch round coasters that probably hold a good 3 ounces or more of resin, and I've mixed up about 6 or 7 ounces, and it's just going to be our main layer with the effect in it, and then we're going to put a background layer on it, and then when we unmold, the effect will be shown on the other side. So I don't want to fill these up, I only want them halfway full maybe. If you see anything in your mold that needs to be cleaned, use alcohol and tape for any little specks or glitter, hair, dust that you might see. I'm basically just letting my cup of resin just sit and kind of warm up. It warms up quicker when it's in the cup than when you spread it out into really shallow layers. It will warm slower. And so I'm kind of wanting to feel its warmth and kind of keep an eye on it. I've got my temperature probe, and I've got some set aside that I'm going to mix some white into it, and then we're going to do our thing in a little bit. So I'm really just waiting on time. I wanted to show you, I used Counterculture DIY Artist Resin medium viscosity, A and B equal parts. I put B in first, and then I put the A in second. It's thicker. It just mixes way better if you put B first and then A into B. So I mixed that for 6 minutes, and then when that was finished, I hit my timer and started my stopwatch, which is here on the side, which you probably can't see because of the lights, but we're at 7.5 minutes right now, and I'm thinking I want to get to at least 15 minutes or so, and we'll just kind of wait and we'll see how the temperature's going, because I can feel the warmth in this, and so that's what I'm going to keep checking on. You base it on the temperature of the resin to get the pretty effect. And so we will just see. I may have a little too much of this for the white. I might add a little bit back. I don't know, just a little bit. I want to make sure I have enough of a thin layer to do my effect, and then the white will be what will be in that cup. What I'm going to put into that cup, this bottle is really messed up, but it's Armor Art White Epoxy Pigment by Counterculture DIY, which is the resin I'm using. And I'm going to use some white alcohol ink in that, and I'll show you that when I mix the white. And I'm going to use White Crystal by Etsy Funshine Color Shop. All the links will be below the video. For the alcohol inks, I'm using Pinata Sunbright Yellow. I'm going to use the Calabaza Orange. This is in that 10 pack from Pinata. You get your white, orange, yellow, red, the main colors, and gold. I use them all the time, and they're very vibrant. And then I've got Bray Reese Brown alcohol ink. That's my go-to for my brown. I love Bray Reese colors too. So anything that I don't have in the 10 colors with Pinata, I'll usually supplement with Bray Reese alcohol inks. I get them all on either Amazon or from Counterculture DIY when I place an order with them. And for the background layer, we'll be using black from the Pinata set, black alcohol ink, and this black holographic glitter, which looks bluish with all the holographic, but it'll turn out black. And then in the center of these, I'm going to just use some chunky gold glitter. It's jumbo glitter. I probably got it at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or somewhere. It's just kind of holographic gold, chunky glitter. So we can take that probe. When you open it up, it'll tell you like the room is 75 degrees in here. which is actually pretty warm. It's winter time, but heat rises. So my studio is above the garage. It's upstairs, and it's warmer up here. And I do keep my windows slightly open. I keep the fan running. I always use precaution with the resin. And I'm going to turn the light on, and we'll just put it in. And I don't know if you can see that. So it feels warm, but it's still only, it's climbing up slowly. It's about 87, 88 degrees, so we still have lots of time. Sometimes you kind of panic and you think, oh, is it getting too warm? Well, if you're not sure, you can use the probe, and you're aiming for the 100-degree mark or so is the kind of the really good time. So that's what we're aiming for. So I'm going to just put it on pause, and I'm going to come back around the time that I think it's just about right. Okay, it's over 100, so we're at 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pour. I'm just going to put a little in each one, and then I'll make sure they're kind of even at that point. I needed probably more resin because these are large coasters. Hopefully I can get this effect. Okay, so for the white, I'm going to put a little spoonful of white crystal. Not much, just a little bit, just for a tiny bit of sparkle. I'm going to put about 7 drops of alcohol ink. I'm going to switch. I've got another bottle. It's a different style. It's not a squeeze bottle, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the end of my stick. Let me heat this. It's a little bit hard. If you have pigment paste, you can heat it and that'll loosen it up a bit. So I'm putting just a little dab on my stick here. And with the paste, you got to rub it off the end of your stick to mix it in. Almost 25 minutes here, so make sure that white is off the tip of the stick. I'm going to put it into a piping bag that's in the cup here. Really quick, I'm going to put the little gold glitter pieces in the middle. Use my stick here. Whoops. It's really thin, so it's not going to go very far down. The resin is a really thin layer. Hopefully this will work. Thing about glitter, I like to use glass bits, but I'm trying to copy another design I had done that somebody really liked. She wanted me to do a set, and the glitter likes to float around more. Okay, 27 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead really quickly and drop some alcohol inks, and I'm going to put one little thing of brown, one drop of orange, and then we're going to go around with yellow, like really fast. I'm just filling in any areas that might need it, but that looks pretty good. And I'm gonna just take this and kind of swirl it around. That brown is really strong. But just try to mix it out into the yellow a little bit. Because I waited on the resin to warm and heat up, it's, you know, thicker, and so it's not spreading as much. The alcohol ink is not spreading as much because of the warmth of it, I'm sure. So just trying to level that out. Okay, just gonna push that down, twist really tight. Cut off the tip. My scissors are bad. And we're gonna just start doing kind of long petals. And just kind of staggering it. And it's warm in my hand, it's not hot. If it's hot, then you know you've waited too long. You don't want it to be uncomfortable in your hand. Trying to get it to go in between too. As you use it, just push it down. And try not to get any hard blobs, so I've got to try to go back and straighten that out a little bit, but I'm just going to go and add a little bit more on the edges. Kind of filling in any spots that may have a gap. And it's almost turning to plastic, so I'm at the end of my rope on this white. Okay, and then I'm gonna just try to separate any blobs. All right, so we're gonna let this cure for about 4 hours where it's not hot anymore, and then we'll put a back layer on it that will be the black with the holographic glitter in it. They'll make a nice pretty background, and we'll see what happens. I'm gonna take my skewer kind of between the white lines and see if I can just bring some of that brown out so it's not like a definite circle of brown. So if you have anything that's touching the edge, just I'm kind of moving it away so it doesn't want to hang there. Okay, I'm going to heat it on low with my heat gun. Doesn't really have any bubbles per se anyway, but I'm going to take my stick and wipe it off when I mixed my resin up with, and I'll use it again next time. And just let the resin cure in this cup, and I can use that cup again. I've learned to reuse my cups over and over again. Cover this, even though the dust part doesn't really matter because we're going to be putting another layer of dark on it, so that won't really matter as much. And I'll be back in 4 hours. Okay, so it's been about 4 hours and I've mixed 10 ounces of resin, and I'm going to use the black holographic glitter, which actually has a bluish cast to it, but I'm going to use that. I'm going to use black alcohol ink, and I'm going to put, I'm going to start with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to throw in, that's a Pinata, and then Crimson by Resin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Start with that first. And then I'm going to put some yellow Resin. About 7 drops or so. I'll warm it up and make it more brown, because that makes the crimson, warms it up. I'll put a little bit more black in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm just going to put in, I'm just going to dump in maybe a tablespoon or so of the really fine glitter. I've got Ebony Dispersion Color by Counterculture DIY, and I'm just gonna put in a little, that's probably a 1/4 of a teaspoon or less. It's very, their dispersion colors are very pigmented. This will make it not transparent. I don't want it to be see-through. Whereas the alcohol inks still leave a little bit of transparency. I'm going to do a little bit more glitter. It's 10 ounces, which may be too much, but I'm just going to start pouring it in and just dividing it up to make sure each coaster gets enough. These coasters hold quite a bit of resin, to be honest, because they're 5 inches. I'm not even going to be able to fill them up. Spritz it with a little alcohol just for bubbles, and it'll be fine, and check it tomorrow. Be back. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm not going to turn them over yet. Ready? Pretty! So you don't see the orange at all, and the brown kind of shifted a bit. That brown came out really strong. But the petals turned out really pretty. They're not blobby. So I'm really pleased. So, and that's in a really, if you can see that, that first layer was really thin. So it was maybe an ounce or so in a 5-inch coaster, which takes way more. So I think these take 4 ounces each. So you could kind of say that it's about a third. So this is probably 1.5 for the effect and 2.5 for the background. And I did not actually, they were not filled up to the rim. There's actually a little lip right around here, if you can see that. So, but I probably could have had another ounce or so, but the effect is pretty. I'm really pleased. Super pleased. And I think my customer will really love them. So, I hope you learned something in this video, and I'll be back for another one. Thank you. Bye-bye.